that 40 years, we've seen our movement expand across the United States, into Canada, across Europe, and even down into the Southern Hemisphere where I live. We've got more than 100,000 law enforcement officers involved in the torch run, dedicated to helping the athletes of Special Olympics. And that wouldn't have happened without the vision and the thoughts of one man in particular, but a group of six that we're calling the original six. Those six runners who carried the flame from police headquarters in Wichita to South High School. I commend them for what they did, and I look forward to the next 40 years.
Chief Lamunyon here. As I sit here in wonderment, looking back at the past 40 years, thinking about how this all started. And as I reflect back, it started a couple of years before the torch run. And I remember the spark that entered my heart when I handed a medal to a little Special Olympic girl, and she hugged me. And that hug generated an ignition within me. And I didn't realize it at the time, nor did that little sweet athlete, but there was a bond that began that became everlasting. That bond, with the spark that it generated, began the amber that became the flicker of hope in Kansas that has now become the roaring flame of stability for Special Olympic athletes around the world. And that bond is the same bond that each of you have experienced over and over again. The next 40 years, the torch run will reach goals that you can't even imagine at this point, because the foundation is there, it's solid, and it worked. It worked in Wichita, Kansas. It works in Australia. It works in Canada. It works in Europe. It works in the Bahamas. And that's because of the bond that's been created between the Special Olympic athletes and law enforcement in general. It cannot be stopped. And while we have made dramatic achievements, I will not be here at the end of this 40, but I'll be looking down, cheering you all on. So thank you for your contributions. Thank you for being a part of an amazing chapter, something that has been able to bring down the barriers of mankind to allow acceptance and inclusion and support for you who are now the guardians of the flame. Thank you and God bless.